Up with KREM begins now.
Right now on Up with KREM, WSU's former head football coach is planning to sue the university. Nick Rolovich was fired earlier this week after he refused to get a COVID vaccine.
The hunt for Brian Laundrie might be over after police found possible human remains in Florida.
And we're going to take you outside, talk weather in the days to come because we get a bit of everything.
The FDA authorized both the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson booster shots. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Channing Curtis. Now, the FDA also announcing it is safe for Americans to mix and match those booster shots.
Also, the authorization covers Moderna recipients who are 65 and older or at a high risk. Any J&J recipient 18 and over is also eligible.
So now the focus is turning to vaccines for kids. The FDA and the CDC are expected to make a decision on the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for children ages 5 to 11 in the next few weeks.
All right, let's take a live look outside. A beautiful downtown Spokane right now. Still pretty dark, but hey, 45 degrees, not bad.
Nope.
A way to kick off this Thursday morning. But could today be the last 60-degree day of 2021? Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in the Outdoor Weather Center now telling us about this break in the rain, and he's just chilling there on the Weather Center.
Yeah, people are going to figure out that I do a lot of sitting around between shots, but no, that's exactly what we are actually going to wind up seeing is our last 60-degree day today. But to make things even more interesting is today is also likely one of the coolest mornings we're going to see in the next week. Hear me out on this one. We'll talk about this in just a second. 45 degrees right now, so we are pretty mild relatively. We've been down in the 30s, we've been down below freezing, we've been down in the 20s here in Spokane, but we are well above it right now. Mid 40s across much of the inland northwest with a little bit of cloud cover. Now I can see some breaks in those clouds if I take a gander around, but there's more clouds on the way. We've got that storm sitting off the coast. It looks pretty good. Got a nice occluded front wrapped around it. And what we wind up getting is a couple breaks in those clouds. So clouds are going to get thicker. We will catch some breaks. Partly sunny, turning partly cloudy before widespread rain takes over as we get into the day on Friday. And that is going to be widespread rain. That is going to be some heavy rain. And that's exactly what we wind up seeing. So here we go. We've got temps climbing into the mid 60s later on this afternoon. That's right, mid 60s. Overnight we build in more moisture and we wind up seeing those temperatures hovering a bit warmer as we get into the weekend when it comes to overnight. That's because of the moisture in the cloud cover. But what we also wind up seeing is daytime highs struggle to hit the mid 50s. So it's cooler in the afternoon, but it's warmer in the morning. I guess it's all in how you look at it.
Well, now that the state's vaccine mandate is in effect, the Department of Corrections has saying that it has lost nearly 350 workers.
So the Corrections Secretary says the department was already dealing with staffing issues, but despite the losses, she says the prisons are operating normal. She even thinks staffing could improve and says there could be fewer outbreaks now that all employees are fully protected.
Somebody would get a tag saying, you have possibly been exposed. We do screening, we did testing. So we had a lot of people out from that exposure. And so that will go down.
Governor Jay Inslee has called for a 2-week pause on all transfers from jails to the Department of Corrections. This will go into effect on October 25th and expire on November 5th.
Access to the Capitol building in Olympia has been denied for some state lawmakers. Last month, House leaders passed an interim rule requiring members and staff to be fully vaccinated before they can get in. Now, the only rule applies to House buildings, not offices controlled by the state Senate. Republican State Representative Jim Walsh, who hasn't presented his COVID vaccine verification, he posted a video to Facebook showing him trying to use a key to enter the building. Officials say he and others who haven't given verification will have to work remotely. As of Wednesday, 26 members have not submitted proof of vaccination.
Our goal has been in every decision we've made kind of along the pandemic path has been to protect our staff and to protect members and to protect the public.
Vaccine verification is not mandatory, nor is it a condition of employment for members. The next legislative session is in January. No word on if the new rule will extend next year.
Right now, a team of doctors and nurses from the Department of Defense are at Providence to help with the growing number of COVID-19 patients. The increase in patients is causing overworked staff, postponed elective surgeries, and overloaded ICUs. Now, 20 active duty military medical personnel are here in Spokane to help. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez spoke with Providence about how the extra hands-on help will help with hospital care.
Yeah, that's right, guys. So Spokane is actually the 11th place that the Department of Defense has sent help for the pandemic response to help out. So they are currently here. There are 20 on-the-ground medical professionals that are helping out in our hospitals right now, specifically at Providence. There are 14 nurses, 2 respiratory specialists, and 4 doctors coming from military bases in California and on the west side. The temporary team members shadowed Providence workers learning the hospital's procedures.
1, 2, 3.
The help is now allowing Providence to start doing elective surgeries again.
We're hopeful by the beginning of November we'll be back to roughly 80% of normal operations for getting those surgeries done.
That was Chief Medical Officer Dr. Dan Getz. He says the hospital is slowly letting anesthesiologists go back to the operating rooms as they get COVID care under control. But there is a backlog of postponed elective surgeries, so it will take some time to catch up.
It just has been relentless for over 18 months. So having support to come in and help expand our capacity as well as offer some reprieve to some of the people that are working in that environment has been a godsend.
Providence asked the Department of Defense for this help back in August. That was when Spokane County reported a record number of hospitalizations for COVID-19.
The resources that are needed to care for these patients are extraordinary.
Now hospitalizations are starting to dip down. Providence Holy Family is caring for 100 COVID patients right now. That's still more patients than the first surge of cases in 2020.
Our staff are exhausted, both physically and mentally. This has been a very, very trying time.
The Department of Defense will help for 1 month. If Providence still needs help after those 30 days, they can request the team stay longer. Dr. Getz says they are seeing seemingly healthy people ending up on ventilators in their hospitals. Most of their serious cases are coming from unvaccinated people. In Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Time now for your morning rush. More news in less time.
Former WSU football head coach Nick Rolovich is planning to sue his former employer. Now, of course, we've been covering this story for months here on Up with KREM. So the lawsuit comes after WSU fired Rolovich for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine and denying his religious exemption. Rolovich claims his devotion to the Catholic faith is his reason for not taking the vaccine.
Are you prepared for an earthquake? Today, you can practice with millions of people across the state at 10:21 a.m. during the Great Washington Shakeout. In addition, the state's earthquake warning system, Shake Alert, is now available. It sends in an emergency alert to your phone, giving anywhere from a few seconds to minutes heads up when an earthquake is about to hit.
This weekend, the Seattle Kraken play their first home game inside the Climate Pledge Arena, and this morning we're getting a look inside the all-new facility. Now, among the new additions are some stunning hallways, including a wall of rotating lights that appear like leaves falling, and a light display that reveals the Seattle skyline from one angle, but the Kraken logo from another. Now, looking down on the arena from the sky, you'll still see the old Key Arena roof.
The engineering feat that was is the most remarkable engineering in the history of the facility business. We have 1,000 people here for our facility conference this week. That's a huge topic because the people that do this for a living are like, how the heck did you guys do that?
Now here's one cool addition to the locker room. The Kraken logo is on the ceiling so that no one tries to step on the NHL franchise. Love it. All right, that's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Well, the hunt for Brian Laundrie could be over. Police have been looking for the main person of interest in the death of Gabby Petito since September.
So Gabby went missing almost 2 months ago, and her body was found in Wyoming last month. While searching for Laundrie, investigators discovered human remains along with his notebook and backpack in a Florida wildlife preserve. The remains were found in a frequently flooded swampland known to have alligators.
These items were found in an area that up until recently have been underwater. Our evidence response team is on scene using all available forensic resources to process the area. It's likely the team will be on scene for several days.
The Laundrie family attorney says they told police to search the trail for their son that he used on hikes. The FBI has yet to identify these remains.
Ready to make my Halloween nightmares a reality?
Well, after the break, we have an interview with Spokane chef Ricky Webster, who got to join Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart on their Halloween special.
And we're going to take you outside and talk clouds building in, clouds moving out, temps on the rise, and then a lot of rain in the forecast.